To Delegate Saira Blair, Republican from Berkeley County, who's called in. Sarah, good morning. Thanks for calling in. You're welcome anytime to call in, but why did you call in?
Good morning. I actually just wanted to touch on the fact that, yes, the House was united, but I was not one of the House Republicans who voted to reject the bill. There were two of us who agreed with the Senate and who decided that rejecting it, not even taking it up and considering it, was an irresponsible choice for people who were elected to represent the people, especially, and you've been talking about how much this bill's been changing. The reason it's been changing is because they're trying every single day to make it better than it was the day before and to compromise, especially with the House Republicans. And so the one that they sent over to us the second time, it took out the wealth tax. Coal severance was good. The Coal Association endorsed it. They took out the natural gas part. What they sent over to us was a really good piece of legislation. And the fact that we didn't take it up at all, very problemsome to me. I think we should have at least considered it. It's not a tax increase on the people at all. In fact, our majority leader said we can't support this because we're going to have a hole in our budget next year if we do.
Well, Sarah, let me ask you, Sarah. And Sarah Blair's with this Republican delegate from Berkeley County who was, you said, one of two who voted for the plan in the House?
Yes.
Okay. And see, the numbers, because I keep hearing House leadership tells me, no, it's a tax increase because when you add in the gasoline tax, the DMV fees, and the wealth tax. And then the Senate and the governor say, no, it's a tax decrease because the income tax rates are coming down. So one of the problems I think a lot of folks have been shifting numbers on this. And whose numbers do you believe?
Yes. Well, and the biggest thing, though, the DMV and the gas tax, that was a separate bill.
Right.
I had complete intentions of voting no on that. Teacher pay raise, I was going to vote no. I love teachers. I'd like to give them that 2% raise, but they already get a raise every year. We've got a lot of people struggling. I'm not going to vote for that. I'm not going to vote for the Parkway Authority and the tolls. We'll deal with that when we get there, but that's not in this bill. And if you believe in shrinking government, you would vote for this bill, but the true problem is they're hiding behind it and calling it a tax increase because they're afraid to cut government. It's the House who couldn't get out this lower budget. The House wanted to pass out a budget that was higher than the promise we made in that press conference to the people that we were going to keep our spending level the same. It's the House that couldn't do that, and they're trying to hide behind this and trick people into thinking that it's anything different. And the Senate offered to have a joint caucus between the Senate Republicans and the House Republicans while we were down there during the special session, and only 11 House Republicans came. No leadership was there. So I'm tired of hearing that they want to work together and be at the table when there was an open invitation and they weren't there for it.
It sounds like, Sarah, and you're still, I think you're still in your first term. So it sounds like you are taking pretty serious issue with the leadership of your own caucus and your own party and your own chamber.
Well, I'm on my second term, but yes.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, you're fine. And I'm a little bit frustrated because I don't want people to think that it's because, my father is a senator and that I'm trying to be a pawn for him. No, this is all coming from what I believe, and you touched on it before. I study economics, and the worst thing you can do is tax people on their capital, on their income, because we did this last year with the cigarette tax. You tax people on something because you want them to stop doing it. That's why they wanted to raise the tobacco tax, because they wanted people to stop smoking. If you put it on your capital, you're going to stay at 47% workforce participation. So let's cut these working people a break. Let's make it easier for them. But the other 53% of people who aren't working, who aren't adding to our economy, they're going to have to carry a little bit of this burden. The cash economy we have, they need to carry a little bit of the burden and make it easier for those who are getting up every day and who are going to work and who are trying to provide a good life for their family. This is, in my opinion, the best decision we could have for West Virginia. And if we don't do it now, then when? There's only so much time. People my age are going to continue leaving the state. Day after day, they're going to leave. The next graduating class is going to leave. And if we don't do this now, then we could really, really face a major problem.